Hi, welcome to day 68. Hang on, just adjusting one setting. So we've got Bitcoin currently up 1%, still in the green. Market's been green for the past couple of days, except for that one night. But that was because it was so green at one point. But we still close in general. I think all these days have been closed with green candles. Oh my gosh, this looks horrible. Yeah, that past 4 days, right? And well, today might end a little bit in the red. Just a correction though, the uptrend still prevails. Although in the daily chart we still don't see these three moving averages flip to the upside quite yet. But I mean, this is still a decent recovery, and if we are going to talk about a longer term recovery, we have this kind of thing going on over here as our ultimate support level. And hopefully we don't reach that level. Hopefully from here we'll just go upwards, but obviously that might not be the case. We might stay lateral in some zone. I would assume this zone, so above 65,000, below 67,000 for a couple of days until we reach one of these two. And then hopefully take off from there. Otherwise, we break the 65,000, we break the uptrends, and we start heading downwards, and our next resistance would be 61,300 once again, which I hope does not happen. It's okay. No, I'm late, Bradley. Don't worry. Anyway, as of right now, I entered a trade yesterday. It was up a lot until it wasn't. Right over here. We reached $66,446, and our target was $66,567. So pretty much by $100, $120, we did not reach our target and price drop, but it's still coming back up, but it's still dropping, but it's still positive at least. We're still making $93 from that, which is not too bad. But, you know, the trade will last a while, so that will stay there. We did also enter into Ethereum, which today is up 2%, and thankfully it did reach the target over here as well, but admittedly, this trade in Ethereum was probably better positioned than my trade in Bitcoin. A couple reasons why, and I'll go through them in a moment. But let's just talk briefly about Ethereum. We did reach 2,727, and now we've kind of... hang on, this music is too loud. Alright, I just have a little bit of background music there. Anyway, yeah, 2,694 right now. I don't know if it'll be able to maintain that 2,700 zone. It's kind of struggling around the 2,700 zone, not any level specifically. So we'll see what happens there. I'm expecting it likely to drop maybe until we see the uptrend. Bitcoin's already a bit in the red for the daily candle that it was showing there, but it's still, yeah, it's like almost neutral position right now, right? 0.80%. It was up 1%, but it's kind of coming down a little bit. So we can see it's stuck in this zone over here. I do have it open on TradingView as well. Let me see if I can show here. Well, I was expecting this zone actually, but yeah, sure. We might actually just stay in this zone right over here, like I mentioned, 65,000 to the 67,000. So that's what we have for now. But hey, at least we got a profit on that, and I'm going to write it down for now. We made 195, unfortunately 195. Because usually I'm supposed to expect like 200 from these kinds of trades. So let me add this over here. Ethereum, September 25th, I assume. No, it's 27th. 9/27. And made 100. No, I entered at 2627. 262704, and then closed at 2681.18, making $195 and paying 425, 426 in commission. This hit our take profit. And next we just have to wait for Bitcoin. I didn't enter into any other ones. I didn't feel like it was safe for those ones. So that's why I'm maintaining this over here. Okay, so let's just review Solana while we're at it. Review the rest of the coins. Solana's up 1.26%. Price is $157.95. And what did I have here? Was this on my main account or something? I don't remember putting this. 26th of September at 23 o'clock. Why did I put this here? I was probably just testing something. Or maybe I just left this here before I ended my stream and I was like, nah, it's too risky to enter. Hey, it would have worked, right? It still hit the profit there, but I didn't actually enter this trade, so I just had it drawn out, but hey, good to know that just basic technical analysis, price action, it works, at least when there's no big news involved. And recently we did not get too much big news. We did get some economic data, which I'll go over, but really, realistically, not much changed from it. Kind of similar stuff. Binance is next. It's up $608.06. Oh, sorry, up $1.46. Oh my gosh, I'm mixing up. 1.46%, and that's $607.90. Hey, we're above the 600 mark. That's a good thing, right? From here, what's the next level that we can expect? 653. We did break this downtrend that was starting to form. Yeah, I would still agree that the uptrend would prevail. I also do have the analyst views that I want to look at, but I don't have it for Binance. These guys don't cover Binance for whatever reason. They did talk about Solana. Solana today, well, that's as of 3 p.m. They were looking for a target of 162 with 90, which it technically did reach. 161, no, it did not reach, sorry. 162 is over here, so 162.90, these guys are expecting it to reach up there, which that kind of movement since 3 p.m., which was 15 o'clock, right? It's still on its way up. Maybe it does hit. I don't know, but testing this Fibonacci is a bit dangerous, and from today I would expect things to possibly take a breather, correction, drop down a little bit. So I'm likely going to stay out of the trades for now. But in general, yes, the uptrend does prevail, so we should hopefully see that continue. So that's what we have for this. Bitcoin's the only thing that's still technically open. We'll see if this hopefully does reach its target. And right, I was going to mention, this was not positioned the best. Why? Because I entered at some random point rather than actually observing a good point to enter. If I would have checked this, I'm thinking of doing like the 3 moving average swing deal on a 15-minute chart. Why the 15-minute chart? Because it will go for longer, yes, but I think it would be a good thing still because it's likely to follow the candlestick patterns that are usually get formed, right, in these scenarios. Because if you're looking at a smaller chart, like a 1-minute chart, a 5-minute chart, the price is like, it's like a 50-50 of where it can go. Like a sudden spike downwards, like you see this kind of candle right over here, or a sudden spike upwards, that can just completely mess up your trade, or it can also help you, but most times it will mess you up because you just need a small bit of movement for the trade, you know, of the trade going against you for it to hit your stop loss, which is not good. And on top of that, you are paying higher fees, which I came to notice when I was noting these down. Like, I was getting charged $25, $50. I feel like that's too much per trade, whereas from before I was getting charged like something moderate, right? Like $5 to $10 or $12, right? Recently with these past 3 trades, I've been doing it in a bit larger time frames, and it's all been under $6, right? Which that's manageable for fees. The goal is also you should try to avoid fees as much as you can. So I'm keeping that into consideration while I'm doing this. Anyways, so this trade is in positive. We also did some DCA, which helps boost us. That's not it. Helps boost the account up a little bit as well to kind of recover a lot of losses that we unfortunately had. But yeah, these are fine, and I'm not selling these till 70,000, so they can stay there. Although I might change that. I don't know. I'll have to look into it later. But this is the active trade that we have, and it's at 99 right now. So we'll let it keep going. And if it goes down, we'll let it go down. It's whatever. We followed our strategy, although this one admittedly was not done properly. Oh yeah, another thing as well. If I was actually to do this properly, I would have entered probably like here, right? Close of this candle. And my target would obviously be a lot less. 1 to 2 would be right there. And this is me exaggerating, right? If I entered at the top of this candle, once the 3 moving averages confirmed the upswing, yeah, like, and I'm using the same stop loss kind of deal, that would have hit its target and, you know, the trade would be over. But because I waited, I took too long and, you know, this is the current trade where we're at. the target also goes higher, and the trade takes longer for it to reach its objective. So that's unfortunate, but it's okay. We'll ride it out and see what happens. That's all we have for technical analysis. I'm going to talk about today's economic data. We got PCE inflation for the month of August. They mentioned that inflation rose 2.2%, which was what was below expectations of 2.3%, which is the lowest since February 2021. Joe Biden, of course, is absolutely bragging about this. And the cool inflation data supports another 50 basis point rate cut in November as well. If we check the CME Fed Watch, I think this actually reduced the chances of a 50 basis point cut. Let me check. Because before it was 60-40, it kind of reduced it. It's 53 to 46, right? But the idea is still the same. We are looking at a 50 basis point rate cut for the month of November on the next Fed FOMC meeting. So we'll see what happens there. Donald Trump, just some general news. Today's is not too much news going on, but here's things that happened. Donald Trump was at Michigan today. He talked about Elon Musk, saying he's going to be the United States' cost cutter. He thinks he can save trillions. I don't think he can get him full-time because he's a little bit busy sending rockets and up on all that thing he does, Anyways. So, yeah, Elon Musk appointed to cut expenses. I mean, this guy's a billionaire, so he must know what he's doing. And I think that would be a good thing if he joins Trump's team to help with that. So that'll be interesting. Here's another bit of news. Donald Trump... Oh, this is not mixed properly. Donald Trump had a visit from President of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky. Of course, Trump's goal is just simply to end the war with Russia, Ukraine. The meme on the previous one was the fact that, oh, the war is going to end, so now the US won't give Ukraine billions of dollars. I did see one video. I don't know if it was true or not. Some guy was touring in Ukraine, and like in the cities, because they have a lot of money now, everybody has like muscle cars just parked in the downtown streets. I don't know if that was true or not, like I said, but just food for thought. Maybe these guys are getting too much money. I don't know. But anyways, ideally, yes, the war should end because people's lives are at stake, soldiers, etc. They shouldn't be dying for this. So, hoping if Trump wins that will all come to a resolution. And this also opens the door to some conspiracy theories as to, if you're wondering why they're trying to kill Trump, this is why. Trump is about to negotiate an end to the conflict in Ukraine. This means the military-industrial complex loses their cash cow, and the CIA lose their offshore proxy. Because it seems like, Russia at least perceives that the West, or, NATO, is attacking Russia through Ukraine, right? This is why they also impeached Trump. Trump also mentioned the impeachment when he spoke with Zelensky, and Zelensky agrees with this, is that the fact that Trump got impeached because of this, as soon as he started digging into where the money was going in Ukraine. Trump did not commit any crime. All he did was get too close to finding out what was going on. And now, if Trump does win the election and does negotiate an end to conflict and the flow of money, as he claims, then the public will see that Trump is a peacekeeper and that the Biden regime were the ones who instigated this war. In my opinion, that's pretty darn clear by now. The United States has been sending billions of dollars to all these key countries, and look at the wars we're getting right now. Drinking tea. One of the stipulations Putin will demand in order to come to an agreement will include a full-scale United Nations Security Council investigation of United States bioweapon development in Ukraine. Putin and his military have been demanding it at the United Nations for years now, and the United States veto every attempt. Suspicious. Anyway, given RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard have been extremely vocal about this subject, it's very likely if Trump wins that his administration will not only agree with Putin in this regard, but assist him in exposing and resolving this threat to humanity. Of course, RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard converted to become Republican kind of thing. So they're very pro-Trump. And of course, we know Trump and Putin have a very good relationship, as Trump always mentions as well. So I don't know, things will fall into place if Trump does get elected and figures that out. So this is what's at stake. This is why the Democrats seeing Trump talking to Zelensky is their worst nightmare. If Ukraine falls, the deep state face extinction. And that's why there's assassination attempts. They're saying that there's like 5 known teams of or groups of people trying to kill Trump as well. So this guy's got to get like as much protection as he can, even after he gets elected. Like he's still probably not safe. So you know, just gotta pray for Trump, I guess. Here's some general Bitcoin news to be bullish about. We're about to see some explosive growth. According to this analysis, we're entering October. October is technically the most bullish month of the year. Not only is it historically a green month, but there are a number of bullish catalysts and factors. I did talk about this as well yesterday, but here's more information. Over the past 5 years, average returns in October have been higher than any other month. Part of this is seasonality, and part of it is psychology. Of course, past performance doesn't equal future returns, but it does rhyme, which is good. Beyond seasonality, the macro landscape has shifted greatly. Global liquidity is set to expand rapidly. Not only have we seen the Fed pivot, China has also turned on the taps. Right? Like I did mention this as well before, United States is getting a lot of rate cuts. China is talking about that. They're injecting liquidity as well, giving stimulus packages, checks, whatever to their banks, a lot of just to get the money flowing, right? That's the idea. Money printer. As mentioned recently, monetary stimulus coming from China is likely to accelerate given structural economic issues. Chinese citizens will be looking for investments beyond the property market. From a supply perspective, sources of extensive selling over the summer have lessened. Almost 80% of the Mt. Gox balance has been distributed to creditors. I even forgot about this whole Mt. Gox thing. They finished distributing like 80%, and then they did nothing for this whole period of time since like before the beginning of August. That's pretty funny. I mean, they did a lot of damage from, of course, refunding after July. July was the time that they started refunding the crypto Bitcoin, refunding Bitcoin to their creditors. And turns out a lot of people did sell, right? Rather than hold on to their Bitcoin, causing Bitcoin's price to fall from like the 60,000s down to, we reached 48,000. But we also, on top of that, had the fear of recession that further pushed prices way lower, right? All these other dips were just Germany selling, and fear of other people selling, and then wars like Middle East war possibly happening, World War III fears. So yeah, there's that. It seems like for now, Middle East kind of calming down is just Israel and Hezbollah this time attacking each other a little bit in with Lebanon, right? But other than that, like not much else is happening. And as I mentioned as well before, it's probably not convenient for a full-scale war to break out, especially during this crucial time of election for the United States, right? German government already sold everything, so we don't have to worry about those guys anymore. They're fully behind us. I remember the market recovering after that, saying, yay, Germany is gone. We don't have to worry about them. HFSP have been staying poor. People even donated Bitcoin telling them that message. That was pretty funny. Anyways, there's also been a large-scale accumulation of Bitcoin over the summer. Long-term Bitcoin holders have been adding to their balances over the past 2 months. Of course, we all know that the halving event happened. Sure, it seems like it was already reflected on the price, but people still want some of that Bitcoin, so they waited for the dips, and they bought the dips, as did I. And we're all bracing ourselves for the big market pump that will happen in Q4 of this year. I'm losing my voice, am I? Drink more tea. And like, it's better this time because Wall Street is getting involved, right? We have approval of ETFs, big bankers, other countries. It's becoming like a race to see who can get more Bitcoin. I've shown like the charts in the past. Of course, Satoshi Nakamoto having 1 million Bitcoin is the most. Then we have just general exchanges and ETFs is the next big one. People like, well, companies like BlackRock, Grayscale, some other company I forget the name of. And then next up is like countries. We have United States, we have China, who have the most amount of Bitcoin. Of course, most of it is seized assets, but I mean, if somebody like Donald Trump gets elected, he will not sell any of that and, you know, possibly start implementing strategies to accumulate more Bitcoin to hold as a strategic reserve, right? He did also mention in many of his rallies that that's what his plan is with crypto. He's fully embracing it. Kamala also mentioned that she would embrace it, but that's it. That's all she said. She said like one sentence, and that's it. So we're not too sure, but either way, at least from what we see, both candidates are pro crypto, so that's technically good, but it's probably better if Trump wins, ideally. This accumulation means that illiquid Bitcoin supply is at record highs. So illiquid Bitcoin supply meaning if you have your Bitcoin in like a cold wallet or something, where you're not able to sell it like instantly, right? You have to transfer it over to an exchange and then sell it. So 74% of circulating supply is now being held by entities termed illiquid. Less liquid supply means more upward price pressure from the demand from exchanges that do have liquid Bitcoin where you can easily buy and sell it. So that's decent. Here they're talking about ETFs as well. The ETFs flows over the past 2 weeks have been consistently positive. Grayscale has slowed considerably given the selling. Oh my gosh, I missed the words. Has slowed considerably given that it has lost almost 70% of its AUM, assets under management. It's no longer a large drag on inflows because, I mean, this has happened twice already with Bitcoin ETFs and Ethereum ETFs. I might have it here. The flow of ETFs, Grayscale, like since the beginning of time, once Bitcoin ETFs got approved, they just started like selling and selling constantly, causing all these major dips. I remember like a lot of these dips being caused by Grayscale selling, right? And the same kind of thing happened to Ethereum. Once Ethereum got their ETFs approved, this was ETF rumor, and ETF approval was like here. And then we just see constant drops, mega drop that liquidated a lot of people. And then, you know, they've just kept the price congested in this zone right here. Hard to get past. But recently, they haven't sold as much. Look at this. They actually have an inflow today. $26 million inflow for Bitcoin. This is huge, right? So they're slowing down the selling, which is a good thing. Do they have anything from here? Ethereum? Yeah, Ethereum, it's just constant selling. You see only the red. And it seems like there's not too much of a demand for Ethereum either, which also explains why the price is struggling to keep up with the rest of the altcoins. A lot of the altcoins have like recovered a lot, right? Except for Ethereum. Ever since its drop over here, it's just been stuck down here. Everything else, like, it's had its ups and downs from that big drop. It's like me showing you this and saying Ethereum was still in this kind of zone, right? Or more realistically, like this kind of zone. Because it did recover from that dip, right? But not as much as the rest of the market has. And I can also show like something Solana for another example. It's also on its way up, right? So as long as, you know, they stop selling, start inflowing, things will continue to go higher. Speaking of ETFs, the Security Exchange Commission recently approved Bitcoin ETF options. That's also news. These can provide rocket fuel for Bitcoin, especially as option dealers are caught in gamma squeezes. Upside buy pressure unique to these options. What? We recently talked about this? Okay, whatever. What the options means is like, say you buy a contract of Bitcoin saying, I think Bitcoin will go to 68,000 in 15 days. Let's just use that as an example. Okay, sure. How much does this contract cost? Well, let's just say it costs $100, okay? And Bitcoin's price will just do its thing. If by 15 days, or even before the 15 days before my contract expires, Bitcoin reaches this amount or more, like I can exercise my contract and sell my Bitcoin at whatever price I want, as if I bought Bitcoin at a lower price, right? Which is good, right? You can say I'm buying Bitcoin at like 64,000, even though the price is like 65,000, and I expect Bitcoin to go to the upside, right? If it reaches like 71,000, you can immediately buy your Bitcoin at what is 64,000, even though you bought the contract when Bitcoin's price was something completely different. So you buy it at 64,000 and you immediately sell it at 71,000. You just made profit off of that. What is it? $7,000, if my math is not wrong. The only way you would lose is, okay, let's say Bitcoin's price did that. It went to the downside. The point of the contract, Bradley, is so that you're protected in that case, saying, okay, I'm buying Bitcoin at 64,000, but the price is like 61,000 now. Is there a point of me buying at 64,000 and selling at 61,000? No, because you lose money. So you only forfeit your contract, which your contract costed only $100 instead of, depending on how much volume you're using, you would have lost something a lot larger than that. And if Bitcoin is 61,000, you can just buy Bitcoin in the spot market at its normal price of 61,000, without the contract. But it's just, if you want to operate that way, there's a lot more to it. There's puts, there's calls. It's a lot different like that. But at least they're giving you the option to do it. They gave you the option for futures, spot, and options trading. So that's good. Regarding the US election, it's clear Trump would be better for crypto than Harris. Yeah, I've been explaining this a lot. However, the case has been made that a Harris presidency could even be better for Bitcoin than Trump. Wait, what? Okay, that's news. According to Vanek, it will reinforce structural issues which are positive for Bitcoin. Me personally, no, I don't do options because I find like that's more of gambling, I feel like. Maybe if you're an insider trader like Nancy Pelosi, she does options trading because she has insider info and that's how she makes bank, right? But I mean, it could be good if you're planning to hold it, like maybe something more less volatile, more solid, like a stock of a company. Then yeah, I would feel options trading would be more useful in that scenario. I do want to read this though. On Bitcoin alone, however, we would argue that a Kamala Harris presidency might be even better for Bitcoin than a second term for Trump because it would, in their view, accelerate many of the structural issues that drive Bitcoin adoption in the first place. Okay, that's just word salad. I have no idea what this means. Accelerate many of the structural issues that drive Bitcoin adoption in the first place. What? That's mumbo jumbo. No, I don't believe that. I'm pretty sure Trump would be a lot better for crypto, not Kamala Harris. I mean, it will still be fine. Like, Bitcoin will continue what it's technically doing right now because Kamala is in power right now. Well, technically Biden is. Well, technically the deep state is. We don't even know who's in power anymore. But, Bitcoin's still pretty decent. But, yeah, it's about time. We do need this thing to go a lot higher. So that's the expectation. Irrespective of who wins, both have economic policies that involve large amounts of deficit spending. Fiscal stimulus will add to the ocean of global monetary liquid, which will be driving risk-on assets like Bitcoin higher. That's true. Like, if you have more money, you're more likely to buy risky assets like Bitcoin. What is this chart? Impose 10% universal and 6% China tariffs. Oh yeah, here's like what their policies are, I guess, right? Look at Trump's policies. So you're gonna put more tariffs on foreign countries, right? This is so that, United States companies will have the chance to boom, right? To grow, rather than having other countries come in and replace them or compete against them, which is bad for your own economy, the United States economy. He's going to lower the corporate income tax to 15%. Good. Although, they will have less tax money, sure, but it would give corporations a better chance of succeeding because they don't have to pay too much in taxes anymore. They would extend business tax benefits. They would eliminate taxes on social security benefits, extend tax cuts as well. You know, the no tax on tips, no tax for overtime. All great policies, in my opinion. More of reducing the taxes to allow businesses to grow. Kamala Harris, on the other hand, will raise the corporate income tax to 28%, so she's going to get more of the tax money. Okay, reduce drug costs, sure. Other tax increases. But what she will also do, what people think is good, is, okay, you'll get a down payment support. If you want to buy a house, she'll give you, I think it's like, what, $25,000 for free to put as a down payment. Ooh, cool, you got $25,000 for free. But is that really good? Like, where is that money coming from? Sure, maybe taxpayer money, but realistically, she's printing that money out, more money printing, which is not good, right? Rather reduce the rates of taxes or whatever it is, then, you know, she just giving us money and expecting that to solve the economy. No, probably not, right? It would give, she's also doing down payment supports. Well, that's what I just read. Other tax credits, social care agenda, expand child tax credit, sure, and extend most income tax cuts. I don't know what that one means. But, sure. It seems like Trump's deficit increase will be a lot higher. 3 trillion versus Kamala's 1.4 trillion. Yeah, not too sure. We'll have to wait and see what actually happens for both of them. So the stars align for this October to be truly special. Of course, the next question is how long this rally could run for. And me personally, I think, like, yeah, sure, it will definitely carry into 2025. I would say, I don't know, because looking at previous cycles, 2021 for Bitcoin, November, like 1 year and a half, yeah, after the previous cycle, the previous halving event, we made higher highs, right? This was April 2021. Okay. Do we have 2020 data? Well, we barely do. Okay, let's just say Bitcoin was, okay, 10,000 in 2020. October, it rose, as you can see over here. And December, January, it kept going a lot higher. We reached a peak in April. March, April is usually the first peak. It takes a huge dip over here, 28,000. We went from, what was 65 to 28,000. And then from there, we had another increase in the price for the rest of that next year in 2021. And we made an even higher high to 68,000. I think this is right. Yeah, 69,000. Okay. And that was November 2021. That's like where the cycle was finished, right? October, of course, being the month that pushed prices a lot higher. End of October, that's where it all ended. November, December. But then a lot of stuff happened here. A lot of rate hikes happened. FTX, like people just started losing faith in crypto in general. NFTs died. Meme coins died. Everything dropped down here for a period of time. I actually took advantage of that, but not as much of an advantage, because I also bought up here. Like, this is my buying cycles when I didn't know what I was doing a couple years ago. I bought something like over here, and then I bought again like down here. But I bought more up here than I did down here. So that kind of sucked. And I also did buy periodically. It was like November 2021 that I started getting into things. Like right over here, things dropped. I'm like, oh, that's free. I made some profits, kind of like this. And then I like bought a little bit. And then I bought over here. Then I didn't buy anything for the rest of 2023 until 2024. Admittedly, it was like in March that I was like, okay, things are kind of back. I'm kind of the same spot where I was a couple years ago. So then, you know, from here, I've been just doing all this trading this whole time. I just messed up this whole chart. Just gonna delete everything. Anyway. Yeah, so that's my history. Little, like, very, very rough history. Rough draft that I drew. So that's what we have here. Let me go to 4 hours. I didn't mean to move that. Why isn't this locked in place? All right. That's what we have for this. Let's talk about some Canadian politics. So there's a new poll showing that Pierre Poilievre is winning a majority of voters outside of Quebec. which is great news. Conservative government, I feel like, would fix everything in Canada at this point. And guess who's in third place? Justin Trudeau. But this is also something to be scared of. Jagmeet Singh is actually up 22%. And, you know, previously it used to be like Conservative Party and Liberal Party, so the red, used to always be neck and neck, right? Very close. Same way you're kind of seeing how Donald Trump and Kamala Harris is right now. Like 49 to 51%, like this would be conservative and liberal government kind of thing. That's the same kind of thing you're seeing over here. However, uh, now that people don't like Trudeau anymore, NDP is kind of backstabbing him and like trying to separate himself from him, but then also still being hypocritical about it, kind of. You know, they're gaining more popularity instead of the liberal government. So maybe liberal voters will pick the New Democratic Party, this orange party you see over here. And maybe, I don't know, that might be the next competitor for the Conservative Party. Something to see. And then the Green Party is like, why does this even exist? But anyway, it's like the Independent Party, right? This is also another party, People's Party of Canada, that nobody cares about. There's also like a Quebec party that only like a couple people in Quebec care about, really. Here's a breakdown by the age group. It's actually, this kind of makes me smile. 18 to 34 years old, the age group of people. More people are leaning conservative, right? Rather than NDP, Liberal, Green Party, People's Party of Canada, which, sure, fair enough, decent. Seems like, you know, Conservative Party might take the lead in the next election, depending on if they call it early or if we wait until October 2025. And then I think this is probably the last bit of news I have. There's a lot of flooding going on in Tennessee in the United States. There's like a big hurricane going on. I have no other news to talk about, so that's what I titled this video. Hurricane is flooding the USA. Yeah, it's Eastern Tennessee. And there's also, well, this is actually probably something different, right? The Waterville Dam was failing. I don't even know if this is due to the hurricane or not, but I do know there's a hurricane in like Florida. And there's people holding up Trump signs and everything. This is Faye's Tifu's basement, by the way, or house, main floor. I don't even know what this is, but it's flooded too, so it's affecting a lot of people. Yeah, this one is due to hurricane flooding. It's just crazy. People are just waking up and their houses are completely covered. And that's all. That's all the news I have. Cool. 37 minutes. Cool. And Bitcoin has not moved at all. 65,851. Okay, cool. Still not too bad. $100. Any opportunities that I can find? So Ethereum is good. We can delete this. Still concerned about this zone over here. So I feel like I shouldn't operate it. It seems a bit uncertain. I'd be flipping a coin if I would enter there. So I'd rather not do that. Something more clear would be possibly Solana. It would be a bit riskier, but might be worth it. According to the analyst view, let me see. Really, do we not have anything? Oh, it's Friday. Today's Friday, so yeah, they're probably not going to give us any analysis on crypto at this time, because usually they do it every couple hours, like every 6 hours. They're still saying that the daily and the weekly charts are also bullish. Solana may rise to 162 or 165. So they're expecting a breakout of this zone, which, if I do this in a bigger time scale, I could probably understand that. Putting my stop below which level though? Behind the super trend, I would agree. Yeah, I'd be more comfortable doing that, but then my target would be a lot higher, like at 170 or something, and I'm at that point, I think it's too much of a stretch. I'm probably expecting too much out of that, so I'm probably not going to do that. Yeah, I might have to leave Solana alone. How is Bitcoin's look? Intraday, they're expecting it to reach 67,390. I think that is expecting too much, but hey, maybe we get separate. Oh, I'm already in Bitcoin. What am I doing? Gotta lock in, so forget that. Ethereum. Let's see what Ethereum has to say. Ether USD might rise to 2,786. Okay. Oh, but yeah, I already mentioned that I was not confident in this little zone. Although ideally we can probably say, okay, if I really had to find something, I'd agree with some stop below that level. No, I really don't like it. I really don't like it. I think I'm not going to enter anything today. And those are my only 4 options, really. I mean, I have a lot of other coins. Litecoin, IOTA, Neo, Ripple, Cardano, Cosmos, Dogecoin, Polkadot, Stellar, Monero, Uniswap, Polygon, Tron. Tron is very bullish. Alright, let's check Tron. Just want to look at the chart that I have not seen in a very long while. Oh, it's decent movement. I have these zones drawn for some reason. Possible previous resistance or support zones. I had a lot of zones drawn. What am I doing? Oh, look at this movement. When did this happen? August 19? Oh yeah, I definitely experienced that. Okay, so I can get rid of these. No longer need them. Price has been very flat, relatively speaking. It's at its higher zone of this range. Like, you guys see this range that I'm talking about? Like, from here and here. Like, it's reaching the top point, reaching the bottom point. We could even say that this even served as a resistance. Or as a support, sorry, for other periods, right? So I feel like it's inside this zone from here. We should expect a drop, right? Probably. Because where else can it go? But it's telling me anyways that its daily chart and weekly chart is also bullish. This is also in the 4-hour chart, so I'm probably reading this wrong. I should zoom in a bit more. Yeah, so we still got an uptrend in general. Pivot point at 1531. Which would be here. So right below the super trend line here. As they can expect it to reach 1581. We're at 1550 right now. They're expecting 1581, so up there. Let me draw what this would look like. So from here, 1581, something like that. Just very roughly drawing this. And I hate the fact that it's like almost a 1.50 risk-reward ratio. They're expecting something like this to happen. Yeah, I personally don't agree with it. I'm not going to do it. Alright, that's it then. No entries for today. Too bad. Anyways, yeah, I think that's good to end there. Hope you guys enjoyed all that news, that analysis, all this yapping. We'll see how this one ends up. Hopefully by tomorrow we'll get our answer. Although, what is it? Tomorrow's Saturday. We're usually not a very volatile day. But yeah. Also, this histogram is red. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. There's not much news either way coming out. What is happening Monday? Do we have a holiday Monday? Next holiday. Next holiday. Do we actually have a holiday or not? Let me check my phone instead. Yes. National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, regional holiday in Canada. What? I think they're just making up holidays. Okay, well, it's just a Canadian holiday, so no one cares. Yeah, so we'll... No, Thanksgiving, that's in October. Thanksgiving is... Yeah, it would be after that, though. Oh, okay, I'll check Discord in a sec. Alright.